I call the member for Fisher.
Thanks, Madam Deputy Speaker, and I rise to speak on this important matter that is agriculture. And people often may see the seat of Fisher as our glorious Sunshine Coast beaches, but they don't actually go west of the highway. But you don't even have to go west of the highway. We have some fantastic agricultural businesses operating in my seat of Fisher, including one of the largest eastern seaboard fisheries operating out of the Mooloolaba Harbour in our prawns and in tuna. And I want to send a shout out to Heidi and Pavo Walker, who are fantastic local business people in my electorate, Walker Seafoods. They are sustainable fishers and they do a great job. And so a shout out to all of them, all the people that work on our wharves at Mooloolaba. But I do also want to take the opportunity to welcome my friends from the Queensland Parliament that are here today. I think that they're here to learn all about the Federation Chamber, so I'm hoping that they're acting like sponges in taking all of this wisdom that they're no doubt hearing. And I want to send a shout out to my good friend, in particular the member for Glasshouse, Andrew Powell, who's doing a great job as the state's new tourism and environment minister. And it's a good segue when we're talking about agriculture, because Fisher, as a federal seat, all people see is the beaches, as beautiful as they are. But the seat of Fisher is still classified by the Australian Electoral Commission as a rural seat. Now, some of my rural colleagues and my state colleagues might have a bit of a chuckle about that, but the seat of Fisher still holds very, very important agricultural industries in farming of pineapples, bananas, strawberries, of course. So many different industries that are the lifeblood of Australia. You know, the Sunshine Coast could very well be the fruit bowl and the food bowl of our country. The challenge, of course, that we face is that our real estate prices are so high that it is very difficult to make a go of farming on the Sunshine Coast on a broad scale. But if you go to any farmers market on a Saturday or a Sunday morning, you will see so many small farmers that are selling their wares, boutique businesses, and but it is a great privilege to be the member for Fisher, because agriculture, whilst it is a smaller part of what we do in Fisher, it is a very, very important part of it. Of course, the member for Riverina would be much more qualified to speak about agriculture, and I'm very pleased that he's made it into the chamber to talk about agriculture. That said, I come from a small farming family. We had a farm on the Mornington Peninsula, about 280 acres, which by the member for Riverina and many of the people that he represents would be a postage stamp. But from Maleny, we have some fantastic cattle growers in Maleny and west of Maleny, in places like Conondale and Cambroom. Whilst they are small, the quality of their produce is incredible. I'll send a shout out to Clif, Hefner and Theresa Craig, who are stalwarts of the LMP, but also they have a stud farm there as well on the way to Conondale, and they do a terrific job, not just in their own farming practices, but in helping many other farmers as well in their consultancy work. So a shout out to them. But to all those people who are in Fisher or right across the country who are toiling right now, whether they be working on the land, on a tractor. Farmers are the salt of the earth. They work damn hard to put food on our table, on our tables. I wish that more people in the city could actually see, just experience what it's like to have to earn a living from working with their hands and growing the food and fibre that Australians rely upon. And I want to send a shout out to each and every single one of them. It might sound a little strange, but in my experience, many of these people who are working on the land actually listen to Parliament as they work. I know I used to when I was on the tools, and I want to send a shout out to them and thank them for their service to this country. It's often a bit of a lonely existence doing what they do, but I take my hat off to them and I thank them for their service. And I'm very pleased now to hand over to the member for Riverina.
I thank the member.
Authorised by Andrew Wallace, LNP, Boccarina, Queensland.